Hello and good morning students of Asansol North Point School class 11. Today we are going to start online classes for the session 2020 to 21. Situations are such that we are going to start this online classes and Asansol North Point School has taken this step so that students won't suffer to start this online classes. So as yesterday we received the timetable for online classes. Today at 9:20 we were supposed to have for class 11 we were supposed to have economics in the first period, but due to some technical issues Pratik sir will be just introducing the different subjects that commerce in class 11 commerce you all will be studying. So first of all, the different subjects options that you all are having is number 1 is accountancy, number 2 business studies, number 3 economics, for English, physical education and entrepreneurship, mathematics and IP. I'll talk about each and every subjects individually. The subjects accountancy, business studies, economics, English and physical education are compulsory subjects, apart from which English is compulsory you have to take. And apart from all these subjects, accountancy, business studies, economics and physical education are the rest of the 4 subjects which you have to study. Now talking about the 6 subjects, this is an optional subjects. Now our school, there are many optional subjects which CBSE provides, but our school, they give us options for only 3 subjects. So out of these 3 subjects, you have to take any one. And the subjects are, number 1 is entrepreneurship, number 2 mathematics, and number 3 is IP, which is known as informative practices. So again I am repeating, number 1 is entrepreneurship, number 2 mathematics, and number 3 is informative practices. So apart from all these subjects like accountancy, business studies, economics, English, physical education, apart from all these subjects, you have to study one more subjects out of these 3, any one of these 3, which is entrepreneurship, mathematics and IP. Now the question arises how to choose amongst these 3, either entrepreneurship, either mathematics or either informative practice. Now the question arises how to choose amongst 3. How will a student choose, or how will you choose how to take any one subject out of this 3? Now let me explain you. If you are taking entrepreneurship, and why will you take entrepreneurship? The reason being, if you like solving case studies, if you like studying the economy more and more, if you want to in future start your own business, you want to know how to start a business, what are the different opportunities available in the market. So I guess entrepreneurship will be the best option for you. And since you all are studying the commerce subject, this subject is actually related to commerce. So if you are wanting to in future, if you want to, many people or many parents are having the business, and you as a student or you as a children, you want to continue your father business. So I guess entrepreneurship will be the best option for you. Now talking about mathematics. Now mathematics, if you are interested in learning formulas, in class 9 and 10 also you did mathematics. So many students are good in mathematics, but what happens is they are not good in those core science subjects. So if you don't want to leave this subject mathematics along with this commerce subject, we know that you are just leaving your science subject and coming to commerce subject. But yes, you have an option to study this subject mathematics. Understood? So if you want to be in touch with these subjects like science subjects, one of the subjects is mathematics. Next comes is your informative practice. Now informative practice is totally based on IT, which means information technology. They will talk about the different computer languages like the AI, the C++, the Java, all these computer languages you want. They'll talk about this subject, informative practices. Now the question arises, why should I take IP, informative practice? Like in future, if you want to do bachelor's in computer application, or you want to pursue your field in computer line, in IT line, in IT sector means making softwares, web designing, all these courses if you want to go for, then I guess IP, informative practices will be the best subject for you. So once again I am repeating, accountancy, business studies, economics, English, physical education, these are the main subjects that you have to study, and this is your main subject. Accountancy is your main subject. Since you are studying commerce, so accountancy, economics and business studies will be your main subject since you are coming to commerce line. So these 3 are your main subject: accountancy, business studies and economics. And these subject, English, since you have to study this is a compulsory subject, so English is compulsory, and physical education, and out of these 3 So 6 subjects, out of these 2 you have to opt any one: entrepreneurship, mathematics, or informative practices. So since I said your economics today was your first class, economics which will be taken by Avik sir. Accountancy will be taken either by Mrs. Poonam Chandra ma'am or Mrs. Devina Seal ma'am. Business studies by Prateek sir or Mrs. Pinky Gauri ma'am will be taking. English either Mr. Ujjwal Chatterjee sir or Miss Navarada Chatterjee ma'am will be taking. And to talk about all these 3, entrepreneurship, mathematics and IP. Entrepreneurship either me or one more teacher will be taking. And talking about mathematics, our very own vice principal sir, Mr. Don, will be taking mathematics, and IP informative practices will be taken by our very own Saurav sir, our computer teacher. Understood? So let's not waste time, and in the next class, in the next session, Pinky ma'am who is taking business studies, either me or Pinky ma'am will be taking business studies. So I'll just give the introduction about what is business studies, what will you study in business studies, what are the different topics which we will cover. Understood? So let's not waste time. In the next session, Pinky ma'am will continue with the chapters. I'll just give the introduction of first chapter, that is evolution of commerce or evolution of business. Why was business started? What is the meaning of business? Understood? Let's firstly talk about what are the different human activities we have. Now, what do you mean by human activities? Let us see here. Human activities. Now, what do you mean by the word human activities? Activities means which we as human beings are doing. Now, the activities which we human beings are doing, there are of 2 types. Number 1 is economic activities. Number 1 is economic activities, and number 2 is non-economic activities. So, what are the different human activities we as a human beings are doing? Number 1 is economic activities, and number 2 is non-economic activities. Now let us talk about this economic and non-economic activities. Now non-economic means first of all, and economic means first of all something related to money, which means any activity which we are doing, we are expecting money in return, or we are expecting profit in return. Whichever activity we are doing, we are expecting what? We are expecting money in return. Now let's talk about non-economic activity. Now non-economic activity means anything which we are, any activity which we are doing out of love, out of care, out of affection. We are not expecting, or we are not assuming also that we will get money in return. So what are the different human activities? Which mean human activities means the daily activities or daily life activities which we as a human being are doing. So number 1 is economic, which means any activity which we are doing, we are expecting money in return. And number 2 is non-economic activity. Now what is non-economic activity? Activity which we are doing but we are not expecting money in return. Now let's talk about the examples of this non-economic activity and economic activity. I'll give you an example. Suppose we see maids working in our places. Now there's a maid who's working at your place, and your parents are paying them a salary or a wage. Suppose let's take at the end of the month the maid is getting some amount of money. Why? Because the maid is working at your place. She's washing utensils, or let's see anything. Now the same maid, she's going back to her place and she's doing the same work at her own place, which means looking after the house, looking after her children and everything. So here at one case, what we are seeing is the maid is getting money. Why? Because she is working at your place, she or he is working at your place, and the same maid, he or she is going back to his or her house, but she is not taking money. The mother or the father cannot take money from the children. Why? Because they are doing some work out of love, out of care and out of affection. So out of those 2 cases, which one is economic and which one is non-economic? The place where she is going or he is going and getting money at your place, that will be termed as economic activity. Why? Because when she is doing work, the person is expecting money in return. So why? That is the reason it will be termed as economic activity. And in the other hand, we will see that the same person is going back to his or her own place and working, but they are not taking money or they are not charging money. Why? Because they are doing out of love, out of affection, out of care for their own children. So they are not expecting anything in return. So this is the literal meaning of economic and non-economic activity. which means which means totally related to money. Economic means totally related to money. And non-economic, we are not expecting money in return. Let's take another example, like we go to church, masjids, temple, or any religious places we go, we donate, we give money. So are we expecting return? Like if we are donating money, that if I am giving rupees 10 to a poor, let's say suppose to a beggar, if I am giving, am I expecting that the beggar will give me after 1 month the money will be like 11 rupees or 12 rupees? No, I'm not doing that. I'm just doing out of sympathy, out of love, out of care. I'm wanting something, I'm just donating it. I'm not wanting anything in return, that the masjid or the temple will give me something in return. If I've given 10, I'll get 12 or 20 rupees in return. No, I'm not expecting that. So non-economic activity is totally related to care, love, affection. Is it clear? So non-economic is totally related to love, care and affection. Like we are donating, we are doing charity, we are giving in church, masjid, temple and all these places. But economic is related to totally money. Whatever activity you do, you want money in return. Now I'll talk about the different economic activities, the options that we have, and what are the different economic activities that we have. Number one is your business. Now what is number one? Number one is business. So what is business? Business, I'll give you the literal definition. The buying and selling of goods and services at regular basis for the motive of earning profit. Three words are important. Buying and selling. You are buying something and on the other hand you are selling it. Now if you are buying suppose you are buying a pen at rupees 100 and selling the same pen at rupees 100. Will it be a business? No, it will not be a business. Why? Because point number 2 is important, for the motive of earning profit. So if you are buying and selling, if you are buying something at rupees 100 and you should sell it at rupees 120 or something more than 100, then it will be termed as business. Now let's see, suppose you bought a pen and you sold it to your friend. Will it be termed as a business? No, it will not be termed as business. Why? Because you are not doing it at regular basis. So for doing business, you should do at regular basis. Buy pens and sell, which means you are having a pen business. Now if you just bought a pen and if you're not liking it, you just went to your friend and sold it for, like suppose you bought it for rupees 100 and you sold it for 120. Will it be termed as business? No, it will not be termed as business. Why? Number one, because you're not doing on regular basis. For any activity to be termed as business, number one, what should be happening? Buying and selling of goods and services. Number two, it should be done on regular basis. And number three, the only motive should be profit. So again, I am repeating the definition. Buying and selling of goods and services for the motive of earning profit on a regular basis will be termed as business. Now number two, second type of economic activity is your profession. Now what is profession? Profession, which means you need any specialized knowledge to be termed as profession. Let's take an example, the lawyers, the doctors, the teachers. Let's take the lawyers. For becoming a lawyer, you need to pursue your LLM, your LLBs, then only you will be a lawyer. Without a degree of LLM or LLB, you cannot become a lawyer. Suppose the doctors, they have to go through the MBBS and the MDs, and then there are many other degrees that they have to go through to become a doctor. They just can't pursue a simple graduation and be termed as and be known as doctors. No, there is a specialized course for that, so that they will be termed as professionals. They have to go through a specialized course. Like for example, the teachers or the professors. The teachers, they have to go through the B.Ed, the Bachelor's in Education, the Master's in Education, and for becoming a professor, they have to like clear NET or just qualify PhDs. So they have to, there's a certain degree for each and every profession, and once you qualify that, then you will be termed as professional. Like for example, the doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers. Understood? So now this was, we spoke about business and profession. Now the third type of the economic activity is your employment. That is your employment. Now what is employment? Employment means when you're working under someone. So the person whom which we are working under is your employer, and you will be termed as the employee. You get either wages or either salary. The person on whom you are working under will be your employer, and number two, you will be termed as your employer. So employment means you are working under someone for either wages or either salary. Understood? So there is no risk that you want profit or somewhat like this. No. Number one is the employer. They'll give you money. Why? Because you're working under them. So what are the three types of economic activity I spoke about? Number one is business, which means buying and selling of goods and services at regular basis for the motive of earning profit. Just three terms are important. Buying and selling of goods on a regular basis for the motive of earning profit. Understood? Number two is your profession, which means there's a certain degree, so there's a certain specialized course to be termed as professional. Like I gave example, MBBS for doctors, lawyers, LLB and LLMs, teachers, BEd or MEd or NET or PhD, somewhat like for professors. And employment will be your, when you're working under someone, and that person will be known as the employer and you will be termed as the employee. Is it clear, my students? So this is it for today's session, and as I said, Pinky ma'am will continue with business studies class 11, all these topics. So business studies will be taken in the next session, and thank you and have a good day.